Never thought I'd be talking about The Simpsons on this channel, but you know, they had to give me a reason. Simpsons meets anime. Let's go! Who here can honestly remember the last time they ever watched a Simpsons episode? And by that I mean a new episode of The Simpsons. I'm sure there's a handful of you diehards who watch every episode regardless of how dull and tiresome the writing has become over these past few years, but I honestly can't really remember the last time I ever watched a new Simpsons episode. Now, I used to watch The Simpsons every night with my family. You know, soon after my mom caved in, since she really didn't like us watching the show. But the earlier episodes, like The Monorail, Who Shot Mr. Burns, The Stonecutters, and more, still have a place in my heart for its comedic writing and memorable moments. But it's been a while since I've seen a recent season that I've actually liked, and haven't really heard anything else since I've stopped watching it. I mean, I hear they keep making new seasons that make me react like, The Simpsons still exist? And naturally wasn't too surprised to see it on Disney Plus once the corporate mouse got his greedy little hands on Fox. Even when using my mom's account, I still never felt like watching The Simpsons. But of course, you know why we're all here. Everyone on Twitter started tagging me and sharing clips from an upcoming Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode. For their 33rd special, The Simpsons would find themselves making parodies of The Babadook, Westworld, and of course, Death Note. This thing's been around for nearly 20 years and we're still making parodies of it. Anyways, one of the Simpsons writers, Carolyn O'Mine, suggested the idea of a Death Note parody since her son and niece kept pitching the idea. Although the idea of a Death Note Simpsons parody was always an idea the team had thought of, Simpsons producer Richard Reynes stated that if they wanted to do this, they had to do it right. And by that, he meant it had to be animated right. Of course that's what he meant. What'd you expect? The writing? For the first time in The Simpsons history, The Simpsons were going full anime. And not like that one time when they walked into the house dressed like anime characters. No. This time, all the Simpsons cast would have complete redesigns to resemble the original style of Death Note. In order for that to happen, they turned to the studio that animated Death Note, DR Movie Production. And yes, you are correct, Studio Madhouse was the one who produced and mostly animated the Death Note anime. They just hired DR Movie to work on the background and cleanup animation, so close enough. The Simpsons were fully animated into the anime world, and Lisa now has her hands on the Death Note tome. With all of this, let's see what happens. Okay, not gonna lie, this is how I felt about the parody.
Meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Okay, the major downgrade the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes have suffered in recent years is the writers choosing to make parodies of other stories rather than making scary scenarios for the Simpsons to face. Even when they did make some parodies in the past, one can argue that they are made to be more memorable and scarier compared to the parodies of today. Instead of just throwing the Simpsons into a scary scenario and seeing what would happen, the writers just make a Simpsons version of the original content, which instantly becomes predictable and boring if you're used to the modern writing. Let's take the other two segments of this episode, for example, Pookadook and Simpsons World. Between the three of them, Pookadook is the worst segment. It's a parody of the Babadook, but the pacing is way too fast for you to grasp onto anything. It's just Marge reading a spooky story to Maggie about the Pookadook only to get possessed by the spirit inside of the book and now wants to kill Maggie. Apparently, this thing fed off of Marge's dark feelings towards her family, but because of the poor pacing, this had to be told to us through exposition rather than allowing us to feel her pain and struggle to fight this thing that wants to kill Maggie. This segment felt so rushed, not immersive, and uncreative. Instead of being mesmerized or terrified with the idea, I just felt unimpressed. As for Simpsons World, it's a parody of Westworld, so you can automatically assume what will happen. The Simpson robots become self-aware and try to escape. That's it, that's the segment, the end. Though I will admit, this is the best of the segments. It shows memes and references from past episodes of The Simpsons as amusement attractions, while being self-aware by acknowledging that the best Simpson episodes are none other than the classics. It even starts off with one of the best Simpsons episodes of all time, The Monorail. I'll also admit that unlike the other two segments, at least this one has a pretty cool ending. Alright, leave your answers down below. Which world are we going to? I'm honestly going to South Park. I don't care what you guys say. I'm going to South Park, guys. Okay, Sumi wants to go to Rick and Morty. Are you Pickle Sumi?
I'm Pickle, fuck you up!
Well, that's nice. The point that I'm trying to make is that the Simpson Halloween episodes in recent years have just been relying on parody, whether they're funny, scary, or neither. Heavy emphasis on the word neither. Where does Death Tome lie within the line of good or bad Simpsons parodies? I'd say it's somewhere in the middle. Lisa finds the Death Tome, and learns that she can kill people instantly by writing their names in the book. The only change this version has compared to the anime is she has to come up with new ways to die. So she's not allowed to kill anyone with the same technique. Her first kill, via heart attack, is Jailbird, since he was holding a cute internet cat at ransom. Which then, of course, leads her to meeting the Shinigami himself, Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson.
Well, when I was born, eons ago, Steve was a very exotic name.
Steve is basically Ryuk and lets her keep the tome to pursue more killings. Lisa tries to abandon the book so she won't kill anyone else, but of course, Mr. Burns has to boast about how he's going to destroy the planet for profit. Over dinner. A natural conversation you'd have during dinner, especially on Thanksgiving. Of course, Lisa is compelled to kill him just to stop his evil plans, but at least she tries to give him a peaceful death. Well, she tried. Steve informs her that there are plenty of individuals who are just as evil as Mr. Burns, so she starts killing them all in a segment I like to call Death Note meets 1000 Ways to Die. Well, now I have a Fear Sewer alliance. Thanks, Lisa. She feels confident with what she's done, only for the news to announce that the recent deaths were all murders from a mysterious book or tome. This conclusion is, of course, presented to the news, to Lisa's dismay, by none other than Elle. And who's the Simpsons equivalent to Elle, you may be asking? Well, it's none other than her equally smart rival from school, Bart Simpson is Elle. Was this just to find a way to get Bart into the story, or just make an Elle Barto joke? I know these two have a sibling rivalry, but how would Bart know that Lisa's the killer?
I found out about your stupid book by reading an even stupider book, your diary.
Well, now I'm just questioning who's the dumb one here. Lisa just flat out writes in her diary how she uses the Death Tome to kill everyone who contributes to global warming. I would say that is the dumbest thing Lisa could ever do, but you can't really blame her for terrible writing. Lisa wants to now kill Bart in order to keep her secret safe, which again, you're writing your killings in your diary anyways. She's about to kill him, which makes her shocked at the mere thought that she would ever kill Bart since, well, he's done nothing wrong. But what else can she do? Can she continue her pursuit in killing those who would do harm to the planet, knowing that Bart could get in her way? Or you could just kill off Steve. I guess that works too. Not really, cause why? Why'd you kill Steve? Seriously, Lisa's the one who made the decision to kill everyone. Steve was just there to watch her and even remind her of her own shortcomings. Like, killing Mr. Burns isn't going to stop global warming since there's plenty more people like him out there, and that killing Elle goes against everything she stood for since she was only killing evil individuals harming the planet. Did she think that by killing Steve, her drive to kill would just stop? We know that's not the case, and she had these dark, cynical thoughts brewing in her head before she had the book.
The human race is 20 cow farts away from total extinction, and we deserve it.
All I'm saying is Lisa pulled a dick move for no good reason at all. Like, why? Why would you kill Steve?
Damn it! I'm a freaking Shinigami.
Probably because the writers ran out of ideas and thought this would be a funny twist. It makes sense now. Overall, the Simpsons parody of Death Note is a thing that exists. we have it now. I'm sure some fans think it's amazing because we get an anime version of The Simpsons, animated by an anime studio that contributed to the original Death Note anime. It's a fine concept that could have worked if the ending wasn't so rushed. Giving Lisa the tome makes sense given how passionate she is with trying to save the planet. The deaths were pretty original and funny for the most part. And again, now I have a newfound fear of sewer lions. Thanks. I hate it. The animation is honestly pretty good, but I'm sure the studio had the right budget for this type of quality. The funniest joke is still Steve Johnson. I love him, I'll miss him. But the rushed ending with Bart being L, Lisa killing off Steve to put an end to her massacre, and then turning into a Shinigami just subverted my hopes towards this parody. It's fine for what it is, but the only thing that really stands out is just getting an episode of The Simpsons with an anime art style. Comparing this to the rest of Treehouse of Horrors though, this episode is still going in the right direction. I mean, they made Halloween episodes that were parodies of Avatar and Cat in the Hat. How the heck are those even scary? I guess I'm cynical towards this episode because The Simpsons writing has only been going downhill for a while, so I really wasn't holding my breath for this. The story may not be that good, and again, Simpsons World is the better of the three segments, but they still made a cute parody of Death Note, so I'd say check this out if you want to see The Simpsons in anime style. Halloween ain't over until I say it is! Which will go on forever and ever and ever if I was in charge. You're probably all grateful that I'm not in charge. But anyways, what did you think of this Death Note parody? And what do you think of the modern Simpsons episodes in general? Leave your answers in the comments down below. Coming up next will be top 10 darkest anime backstories, as well as me reacting to Japanese Halloween commercials. You know, I usually film the Christmas one, so this ought to be good. Thank you to everyone for watching this video, and a special thank you to my Patreon supporters for keeping this channel alive. I can keep making these random videos because of your amazing support and generosity. More awesome videos will be on the way, so stay tuned to Anime America.